Hi, guys. Welcome back to Rts Share Tea, where respiratory therapists live out loud with me, your host, Linda Fry, the asthma lady. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to anyone new. And I am very excited because I have another amazing guest co host. Hi, Shashika. Yes. So we're going to let Shashika take over the show. We're gonna read her bio and then we're just gonna get right into it with her. And oh yes, guys, and we just want to say that we are coming upon Respiratory Care Week. So just giving a quick shout out to all the respiratory therapists out there, and I hope they are treating you well. Okay, so Shashika Hynes is, oops, sorry. Shashika Hynes is a native of Jamaica and migrated to the States after high school to further her education. She completed her undergrad degree at Long Island University. Yes, alumni. She is a registered respiratory therapist in the state of New York, and she recently obtained her certification as a BLS instructor. She is currently working on her master's in business administration and organizational management with a concentration in healthcare administration. She is a plant mama three. She enjoys baking, traveling, and making content on her social media platforms, which is where I found her. All right. So, yes, Shashika, thank you once again for being here, for being a
Thank you.
guest co-host. Yes. Yay. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it and basically just getting to understand someone like you who is out on social media and just being a proud respiratory therapist, and especially representing respiratory once again during respiratory care week. But let's start from the beginning, from you coming from Jamaica, coming to the States. What attracted you to this profession, to the respiratory care field?
Well, moving from Jamaica to America, I know that I wanted to be in healthcare because I have a passion for helping people, and I know that's where I wanted to be. So I started my nursing journey my
Of
first year
course.
as RT, and my trajectory changed, and I stumbled upon respiratory, and here I am today.
Of
Um,
course.
So it was not until when I started my clinical rotations I really understood what respiratory was about and how
Mhm.
vital part we play in the hospital. Then I began to say, yeah, maybe I like this, and then it won me over, and here I am today.
Uh-huh. You just like everybody else. It's like I don't think out of everyone I have been interviewed, I don't think not one person said, "Oh yeah, I knew I wanted to be a respiratory therapist." A lot of us just kind of like stumbled upon it from nursing, pharmacy. I was in pharmacy school.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I fell. We all had to pivot in some shape or form. So okay. All right. So do you have any connection specifically to respiratory, or was it just that you knew you just wanted to be in the hospital?
I didn't have a connection to respiratory. Actually, let me be completely honest with you. I had prerequisites for nursing, and
Mm-hmm.
I failed pharmacology, and
Okay. So
all prerequisites behind
I
me
can't
and
say that.
of what to do with the prerequisites, and
Okay.
I seen that respiratory same.
Mm-hmm. Prereqs.
I'm like, you know what? I might as well just do
Might
respiratory.
as well pivot. Mm-hmm. You making your money, ain't you? All right. Well, there you go. Okay, so that's good to know. And thank you for sharing that with me. And I think, oh, can you tell everybody when you started, like when you started the program and when you started as a respiratory therapist?
Well, I started the program around 2014,
Okay.
graduated 17 from LIU. Um, I took like a few months preparing for the exam. I was
Mm-hmm.
And it, do it fresh as you leave school, because when you leave, sometimes you forget some things.
Oh, yes.
I
That's
feel
good advice.
that's kind of late. So that's why I started working late around 2018, 2019. That's when I
Okay.
full time as a RT.
Okay. Okay. So you graduated with Professor Johnson and them. He was still there.
Oh no, well, Johnson has
Oh,
retired. Yeah,
okay. Okay. So you was there with Lisa.
I was there with Lisa, but I did had my first semester with Johnson, and then
Got you, got you, got you. Okay, okay. Just, I'm senior, I'm seasoned. So like, I'll tell you what year I left, But okay, so good. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. So how did you know you wanted to get into your master's in healthcare and health administration and going for your BLS and that whole stuff? Because I want to say you're still relatively newish in respiratory. And but what I like about what I'm seeing about you is that you are owning and taking control of your career. So how do you know when to make the transition or to do that next thing?
well, actually, for me, I think it's kind of late for me because I wanted to do my master's like a few, like 2 years ago, and I started, maybe not, maybe here and there. But I knew I wanted to go for, I'm an advocate for like furthering your education.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always known that I wanted to get my master's, but what I
Okay.
wanted to, I was so unsure. Um,
Okay.
research. I'm still in the process of researching because even though I'm in the program, I'm still unsure as to what I'm gonna do with it.
Do
But I'm trusting the process and hoping that something will pop out to me sooner and or later than later. And so I started this program in 2023. It's a 2-year program, online program,
okay.
and completely online, self.
Okay.
And so with me doing that, it's easier for me to manipulate work, going to work and doing this. And then for my BLS, I've always wanted to like be in like the education road. So
Okay.
a lot of
Okay.
people not only don't know how to react in an emergency situation,
Mm-hmm.
so being an instructor and teaching people how to do, basic life support procedures will save a lot of lives along the way.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying a few things and I like I said, I could tell you're still on your journey and trying to figure out where you want to go. But I do see a bright future ahead for you because at least you're curious. I could tell, like you're not just sitting and waiting for something to happen. You're making it happen. And you're willing, and you already said you're a lifelong learner. Like you advocate for higher education, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go back to school. It just means you just have to, enjoy learning and not being afraid to continue to do it. So yeah, I think girl, once you find a mentor and all that, you'll find your way. You'll be fine. And okay, so you answered another question because I was gonna ask you, how do you how do you balance between work, school, and you also on social media, you're creating content. So how do you sprinkle in like the fun time and creating and yeah, just being passionate about that stuff? How does that work in your schedule?
It's difficult, but the way I look at it is that there are 24 hours within a day. Um, 12 hours at work. So there you go,
I
12
see.
hours at work.
Yeah.
Other hours is either use doing content creating, assignments, or sleeping. Sleep is important.
Yeah.
So um, so call me crazy, but not only do I have a full-time job, but I also have a part-time job. I'm on my master's program.
Hmm.
So basically, I find time like after work mostly for to complete my assignments and
Uh-huh.
do my content creating, and most of this happens like after work when I'm home, when I'm in my quiet place, and I'm like, maybe I could do something for a few hours before I go to bed. So that's
Oh.
where the activities happen after work. I'm just home creating and doing my assignments, just trying to spread out my time.
So, okay, so that's good to know. So, where do you find your inspiration for what you're gonna put out? Because I've seen, like I said, that's how I found you. Your stuff is mainly is funny, but I like the fact that you are, you're getting the eyeballs on what the profession looks like, and knowing that it's a thriving career. Because you, even though you're being funny, you still put in the eyes where it needs to be. So how do you what inspires you to keep doing it and to get the ideas?
Right. So most of the ideas come from just my experiences and whatever I go through.
It's so much material when you go to work, right? We meet so many people.
Right. So most of my content comes from work.
Right.
Um,
You can't even make that stuff up sometimes.
so
Like,
majority of my content comes from work. Um, and so with me creating that and making this platform is not only spreads awareness about the respiratory therapy field because a lot of people do not really know anything about
oh,
respiratory.
they don't know what we do. Right.
Is once they ask what you do, then I have to go on explaining what I do.
Right.
Always like the process. So I'm like, okay, I could create this social media platform not only to spread awareness so others can see what respiratory is about, but also it's a way to network with people. And for
Hmm.
so that's how you met me. That's
That's a
networking.
fact. Yeah. It is. It's and even me, and I totally agree with you because even me creating this platform, very similar. No one told me to do it. I just was just like, you know what? I'm going to create a podcast, and it was based off Respiratory Care Week. I did a presentation 3 years ago on how to be a happier respiratory therapist and take control of your career. And I didn't think that many people was going to attend. It was a virtual. I thought 60 people, I was going to be happy. Girl, 840 people showed up. And I was like, why? As a no-name speaker. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create a podcast to just spread positive vibes within the career because there was just a lot of folks that were not happy with everything that was going on, and that was of course during COVID time, and you already know we was going through a lot. So yeah, I mean, oh, so that's a good question. How was it for you during COVID? Like you were in the beginning of your career. How did that look?
Well,
I mean, you can be honest and not so honest at the same time. Because I was also in New York.
it was the I
Yeah.
until today I still do have PTSD.
PTSD, child. We know. Girl, they had us in garbage bags. Like we had no PPE. You ain't got
People
to say nothing.
just way and just a terrible time, but I'm happy that I was able to be there to
Mm-hmm.
helping and because I must say throughout that entire process, I did not I was the only one who wasn't sick.
Really? Oh, you lucked out. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's a blessing.
it was definitely a blessing, but I would never
So
want to
so you picked up all the shifts.
go to agency. So I was full-time agency, full-time art, regular RT.
Oh, so you never saw home. There's no way. There's no way. Oh man, I know. Girl, I don't even want to tell you. I was pregnant. I had to tell the agency. Yeah, because I have PTSD as well.
I think we all do.
Especially anyway, that's but yes, good to know and yes, thank you so much for sharing that. So what advice would you give to other RTs that are because you're not, I don't want to say you're not an early career respiratory therapist because you're a little further than that. But just like what advice would you give to another RT that's trying to figure out their career and also wants to get into like content creation and connecting with others? What would you say?
I'll say just do your research. Do your research, see what strikes, what's out there, what you're interested in, and go for it. If you want to do content creating, do it. Do content creating. When I created that platform, I met so many people. I had no idea I'll be here today speaking with the so you never know, many doors will be open for you. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead, do it. There's a lot of us out there, but there's a lot of space for everyone. So you can go
Yes.
you want to do, make your content. There's someone who's gonna wanna learn more about respiratory every day. And the more you research, the more you want to educate yourself, the more you spread awareness of the career and just continue growing and be strong in your career.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. I think, and you let me know if you feel any of that. I never had that issue, but you hit it on the nose. I feel like there's space for everybody. So when people reach out to me and they be like, "Hey, listen, I want to start my own podcast. I want to start my own," I'm like, "Go for it." I always say that. I don't like stop anybody or whatever. And when it comes to like all of us that are on the social media space, I think that yeah, we just kind of we all exist and it's not it's like everybody's just doing their thing. And it's
Exactly.
good. And it's just good to collaborate, meet each other in person. So hopefully one day I get to meet you in person because I love when I meet people virtually, but get to really connect with them like through a conference or something. I'll be like, oh, it's Shashika. Okay, dose of RT. Like I can shout you out like that and really feel like I know you like that. So yeah, that is the blessing. Just making sure that okay, when it comes to okay, we already spoke about the BLS for the okay, well, you know what? This coming week is Respiratory Care Week. So what message would you give to anybody that work with respiratory therapists or anybody that's curious about this field? What would you tell them this time Respiratory Care Week is about?
For me personally, Respiratory Care Week is about just recognizing the fact that we are part of the healthcare team. As I said before, a lot of people don't really know about us. So this is a time to spread awareness about the field, not only uplifting our career, but so that others in the community could know, like, look, if there's not only doctors, there's not only nursing, there's not only physical therapy, but there's respiratory therapy. There's so many other things that you can do. So during
Mhm.
the many hospitals celebrate around the last week of October for Respiratory Care Week. It's a lot of
Mhm.
people acknowledge their therapists by either giving them gifts or breakfast. Some don't, but
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll take what we get.
so it's just to let people to know that hey, we exist, we're here. We're
Right.
and we're
Right.
as any other profession within the healthcare field.
Yes, 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 yes. So I tell everybody we are the Batman and the Batwoman of the team. That's just what it is. It's just like we there and we do our thing and we make sure everything is all good and then we just kind of phase out. But we an important part of the team. I remember when, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the football player. When he had that heart attack, the young football player and they were like, it was the RTs out there doing CPR on him in real time in front of all those people, national cameras doing
That,
CPR on this 20-something-year-old. And I'm like, can you imagine? I never even thought about that. We on the football
right?
stadium. That's crazy.
Never
Never
thought.
even thought about that. Yeah. So, I love showcasing things like that about our career. So, when that story came out, I blasted it all through my social media, and it got a lot of eyeballs because understanding that once you can't breathe, it's a problem, and you gonna end up seeing one of us. So, okay, that is a priority in
It's
life. Yes.
scary if you
So.
can't. But don't worry,
Right.
you.
So yes, Shasika, thank you so much for being with us. Just this is your time to plug away. Let us know, what are you doing? Where can we find you? Are you doing anything new? What's going on? What does the future hold for you?
Well, the future holds a lot, but I'm still on the journey,
Mhm.
trying to figure it
Yes.
out. There's a lot going on right now, so I just have to figure it out eventually. Um,
Mhm.
Find me on my social media handle as Daily Dose of RT. That's my respiratory page.
Okay.
Um,
I'm
and
gonna put that in the description too, by the way.
right,
Hmm.
so I'm still on a journey, and wherever it takes me, I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna get there.
Yes. And this is some unsolicited advice coming from me. You can also in the future, I don't know if you're gonna go this year, but you can also try networking with at the AARC events where you can meet other RTs that are doing a bunch of different stuff too. So those of us that have degrees in other things in additional to RT, so you can kind of see like what that looks like, you
Okay.
know. So yeah. So consider it. You don't have to do it this year, but I recommend to folks to at least go to at least one industry conference. So
Okay.
whatever the career is, if you can go to at least one, it's good because that's when you really meet people and you get to pick their brain and could potentially meet a mentor and all that stuff. So,
I think
mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Shashika, any last words? Anything you want to tell the listeners?
Um, just make sure you have a good work-life balance, because you don't want to be burned out by the end of the day. I know I'm doing a lot. It sounds crazy, but I do find time in between for leisure and pleasure activities. So while you're
Mhm.
taking care of the sick, just make sure you take care of yourself because
Mhm.
yourself, you can't take care of others. So always make time for yourself and do your research, spread the word about respiratory therapy, and if you want to do content creating, if you want to further your education, go for it.
Yes, ma'am. You heard it, everyone. All right. Yes, Shashika, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well,
Thank you so much. You dropped some gems and your presence is just lovely. So I love it. Yes, guys, thank you so much for being here with us, and we appreciate you. Know that we are on most podcast platforms on Wednesdays and we are on YouTube on Thursdays, and we are growing together. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, to invest in yourself and to only compete with yesterday's version of you. I'll see you next time. Oh, happy Respiratory Care Week coming up. Bye.